At the present time, the night sky is going through tremendous changes that will adjust its appearance in the following couple of many years, while maybe not sooner. What we have long seen as consistent and ceaseless is right now entering a period of dynamic change. These movements are not simply shallow. They will reevaluate how we notice and measure the universe. Driving trained professionals and cosmologists across the globe are raising alerts, making us notice an oncoming change in our radiant cognizance. Characters like Neil deGrasse Tyson, a lofty astrophysicist, have collaborated on this issue, zeroing in on the way that Polaris, the well-known North Star, will go through a close-to-home change. The story behind this cosmic event isn't simply enamoring, yet additionally significantly upsetting. Polaris, a star that has filled in as a legitimate point in the night sky for a really long time, will lose its trustworthiness. For quite a while, this star has been a crucial reference point for stargazers, pilots, and cosmologists, helping individuals with arranging themselves both in every practical sense and symbolically. However, at this point, this once strong helper is extremely near a tremendous change, one that could modify both our perspective on the night sky and the grandiose calculations we have long underrated. This change conveys tremendous repercussions for both logical and social settings. Go along with us as we explore the sincerity of this conceivable heavenly shift and its impact on us all. To completely understand the profundity of the situation, we should initially take a gander at the historical backdrop of Polaris, a star that is presently acknowledged to enter the last periods of its life. For a long time, Polaris has been seen as the directing star, a brilliant reference point that has driven the way for both space specialists and guides the same. Regarded by human advancements over the course of time, Polaris has stood firm on an unparalleled traction in the air, staying as a picture of consistency and unfaltering dependability. Its steady presence has given a groundwork of heavenly course, giving a ceaseless viewpoint in a for the most part strong sky. Notwithstanding, late advancements propose that this time of consistent quality could be moving toward its end. An earth-shattering report introduced by the respected Imperial Galactic Culture in September 2023 has extended the eventual fate of Polaris. The review exhibits that the star is extremely near a shocking occasion, an impact that would check its super-durable evaporating from the night sky. This revelation is staggering, as it suggests the death of a star that has been urgent to both logical examination and social practice. Before we dig into the logical results of this occasion, it is imperative to investigate Polaris itself to comprehend the powers driving this sensational change. Polaris, additionally alluded to conversationally as the North Star, possesses a phenomenal and fundamental situation in the night sky. Its area is straightforwardly connected with its nearness to the heavenly North Pole, meaning it shows up straight over the world's North Pole. This gives the deception that the star stays fixed in the northern sky, while different stars appear to rotate around it. This apparently static position has made Polaris an inestimable instrument for route, especially for old mariners who relied upon its direction to cross the seas. The star is important for the superb body Ursa Minor and stands apart because of its situation as well as its moderate splendor. Be that as it may, Polaris is considerably more than a basic brilliant spot in the night sky. It is, as a matter of fact, a yellow-white supergiant, colossal contrasted with our sun, and part of a complex, glorious framework. This framework incorporates 3 stars, Polaris AA, Polaris OB, and Polaris B. To the independent eye, Polaris shows up as a solitary star, yet as a general rule, it is a parallel framework with a 3rd star circling the essential pair. The gravitational collaborations between these stars shape their circles and, thus, influence their brilliance and other basic credits. Any aggravation in this delicate harmony can prompt sporadic changes in brilliance, beat designs, and other discernible attributes. Regardless of progressions in cosmology, specialists actually don't completely comprehend the multifaceted cycles overseeing these wonderful connections, leaving a lot of Polaris future conduct covered in secret. Polaris is found roughly 323 light-years from Earth, and that implies that the light we right now see from the star was really sent a long time back. This fleeting distance has critical ramifications for how we notice magnificent occasions. If Polaris somehow happened to detonate today, we wouldn't observe the impact for an additional 323 years because of the time it takes for the light to contact us. This self-important postpone suggests that, in principle, the blast might have proactively happened, and we are only anticipating the appearance of the light from that far-off occasion. Specialists base their projections on the exact proof as of now accessible, which firmly proposes that Polaris is approaching the finish of its life cycle. In any case, because of the tremendous distances included, it's conceivable that the star's destiny has proactively been fixed, yet the impacts presently can't seem to contact us. This features the test of concentrating on divine bodies at such tremendous distances. When we notice massive changes, they might have happened hundreds of years sooner. By the by, these projections give essential bits of knowledge into the expected destiny of quite possibly of the most striking star in our sky. The meaning of Polaris over mankind's time couldn't possibly be more significant. From old developments to present-day times, the North Star plays had a basic impact in both route and social imagery. Its soundness and nearly fixed position close to the divine North Pole have made it a fundamental device for explorers and wayfarers, particularly those in the northern half of the globe. Antiquated mariners, for example, depended on Polaris to explore across huge seas, utilizing its steady presence to decide their course. Indeed, even in the present mechanically progressed time, the star stays an essential reference point in cosmology and route. Past its functional use, Polaris holds significant emblematic importance in different societies. In certain practices, the North Star addresses steadiness, strength, and lastingness. It has been seen as a directing light, both in a real sense and metaphorically in the tremendous, steadily changing embroidery of the night sky. Not at all like different stars that ascend and set over the course of the evening, Polaris has been a consistent presence, making it an image of unwavering quality in a fanciful world. In any case, ongoing perceptions have raised worries about the eventual fate of this divine symbol, as its way of behaving is presently not so unsurprising as it used to be. Recently, Polaris has started to show ways of behaving that veer from what cosmologists have commonly anticipated. This disrupting alteration in its heartbeat cycle has confounded specialists, who are presently directing further examinations to figure out the causes behind these peculiarities. Ordinarily, stars like Polaris follow an anticipated example of throbs, patterns of lighting up and darkening that happen at standard spans. Nonetheless, Polaris has as of late moved to a flighty cycle, showing startling varieties in its splendor. This has brought cautions up in the vast local area, as such changes are in many cases markers that a star is approaching a mind-blowing finish. The erratic way of behaving is predictable with what scientists have seen in different stars that are in their last stages. Polaris, once known for its consistent throbs, is currently giving indications of shakiness. The rising term of these heartbeat cycles, beforehand dependable in their timing, recommends that the communications between the stars in the Polaris framework are turning out to be more tempestuous. Albeit these progressions might appear to be minor, like a 4.5% increment in beat length, they are of extraordinary importance to scientists. These variances are firmly observed, as they could give pieces of information about the fundamental cycles driving the star toward its conceivable downfall. A few cosmologists recommend that the gravitational powers between the stars in the Polaris framework could be liable for these changes. These powers may be influencing the climatic states of the star, which thus impacts its heartbeat designs. In any case, not all researchers are persuaded by this clarification. A developing number of scientists accept that Polaris is near the very edge of a cosmic explosion, a gigantic enormous blast that would check the finish of its life. This speculation is upheld by the way that Polaris is showing conduct like that saw in Betelgeuse, one more unmistakable star in the Orion heavenly body. Like Polaris, Betelgeuse has shown sensational changes in brilliance, prompting boundless hypothesis that it could detonate in the near future. Betelgeuse's way of behaving has accumulated huge consideration, for certain researchers advance notice that its inescapable end is drawing closer. These specialists feature the eccentric vacillations in splendor and different signs that are commonplace of stars in their last stages. Polaris' new direct mirrors that of Betelgeuse, proposing that it also might be approaching its unstable end. NASA has taken a distinct fascination with the inconsistencies displayed by Betelgeuse. The space organization has communicated worry about the chance of Betelgeuse exploding, which could bring about a marvelous, inestimable occasion noticeable from Earth. While NASA has not yet given a comparative level of worry for Polaris, the uncommon way of behaving of the two stars has provoked stargazers to keep a nearby watch on these divine bodies. Betelgeuse's potential cosmic explosion has been the subject of broad checking, as it would give important experiences into the existence patterns of gigantic stars. Be that as it may, in spite of Polaris' irregular way of behaving, there has been no authority declaration from NASA in regards to expanded checking of the star. In any case, space experts stay careful, as stars like Polaris and Betelgeuse are both in the phenom at the point when they are in their beginning phases. Stars like Polaris go through cycles of atomic combination, changing over hydrogen into helium and delivering immense measures of energy. As they exhaust their hydrogen fuel, their centers agreement and intensity up, provoking the combination of heavier components. This can prompt tremendous changes in size, temperature, and splendor, at last influencing their situation in the Hertzsprung-Russell graph, which orders stars in light of their radiance and temperature. As Polaris ages and changes into its later life stages, it will probably grow into a red supergiant. This stage is described by a development of the external layers, essentially adjusting its appearance in the night sky. At last, Polaris will arrive at a basic place where it can never again support atomic combination, prompting its inescapable destruction. On account of supergiants, this frequently comes full circle in a cosmic explosion blast, quite possibly of the most fiery occasion known to mankind. Such a blast denotes the finish of the star as well as scatters weighty components into space, adding to the enormous material from which new stars and planets can frame. The likely blast of Polaris suggests interesting conversation starters for stargazers and cosmologists. As it approaches this basic stage, scientists are definitely keen on noticing any antecedent signs that might demonstrate the star's looming destiny. This incorporates checking its splendor vacillations, throb designs, and any abnormalities that could propose changes in its inside construction or outer climate. Furthermore, the social and authentic meaning of Polaris adds layers of intricacy to its review. For a really long time, it is filled in as a navigational guide for voyagers and an image of consistency in an impacting world. Its expected change or vanishing could resound profoundly across different societies, affecting established researchers as well as the public's relationship with the night sky. In outline, the destiny of Polaris is a striking sign of the dynamic and steadily developing nature of the universe. As it moves toward a critical change, it welcomes both logical request and philosophical reflection on our place inside the universe. The progressions happening in Polaris might act as a similitude for change itself, helping us to remember the temporariness inborn regardless. Researchers keep on unwinding the secrets encompassing this famous star, endeavoring to comprehend not exclusively its future, yet in addition the more extensive ramifications for how we might interpret heavenly life cycles and grandiose advancement.